Hello students, in the previous lecture we had studied about the parliament and its significance, the works the parliament does. Now, in today's lecture we are going to elaborate what parliament actually is and how does it function. So to start with, the two houses of the parliament, as I mentioned in the previous lecture, that parliament comprises of mainly two houses, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, which are also known as lower house and the upper house. Now to go in details in the formation of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, the first and foremost point is the number of members which are in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The Lok Sabha comprises of 545 members, amongst which 543 members are elected from the constituencies and 2 members are nominated by the President. In the Rajya Sabha, a total of 250 members are there, from which 12 members are nominated by the President. The next is, how are the members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha elected? You must have studied this in the previous class also, that the members of Lok Sabha are directly elected by people's choice through voting, and the members of Rajya Sabha are indirectly elected from the legislative assemblies. Next is the tenure of the members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The members of the Lok Sabha are elected for a period of 5 years, whereas the members of Rajya Sabha are elected for a period of 6 years. Now, the tricky thing here is that the members of the Lok Sabha, although are elected for a term of 5 years, but the term is not fixed. That is, if the government dissolves before finishing the term, then the tenure is cutted out and they do not complete their full term of 5 years. And because of this feature, it makes the Lok Sabha a temporary house, whereas Rajya Sabha is a permanent body. Now to go into details of these two houses, initially we have mentioned that Lok Sabha is called the lower house and Rajya Sabha is called the upper house. Why is it that Lok Sabha is called the lower and Rajya Sabha the upper house? Does it mean that Lok Sabha is less in significance and Rajya Sabha is higher or upper in significance in comparison to Lok Sabha? No. The answer of this question is that we only call them lower house and upper house because this is the way they are mentioned in our constitution. It is a classical way of division that we borrowed from the British Empire, and it does not specify the significance of any of the houses, although we will find that at certain areas the Lok Sabha or the lower house holds higher significance in comparison to the Rajya Sabha. For example, if we talk about any ordinary bill, then it can be introduced in any of the house, either Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. But if we have to introduce a money bill, then it has to be introduced in Lok Sabha only, and Rajya Sabha is of less significance here. If the money bill is passed by the Lok Sabha, then Rajya Sabha cannot reject the bill. It can only delay the bill so that it can be resent for consideration. But if the period of delay is finished, then it is considered approved by the Rajya Sabha as well. The most important feature is that the members of the Lok Sabha, because they are the members directly elected by the people. They have formed the government. So the Council of Ministers are controlled by the Lok Sabha only, and because they enjoy a majority support of the people, so they hold more power in their hand. But here again the point is that as long as they hold the majority, it's only up to them that they can exercise their power. If they fail to prove the majority in the Lok Sabha, then the government can be dissolved or can be removed from the authority. So here we will find that both the houses hold equal significance. So in this way, the legislature of our nation functions and makes laws for the betterment of the nation. Now the second level of the government is the executives. After the framing of the law, what is required here is the institution which is going to act as functionaries of these decisions. The decisions are not taken by them, but they exercise the power to act on the decisions taken by the legislature. Like we studied in the story earlier, the final recommendation which was proposed by Mr. V.P. Singh and his cabinet, it was given to a particular department which was called the Department of Personnel and Training. The officers signed that order on behalf of the Union of Government. Now here, because the officers signed the order, this does not mean that the decision was taken by them. The decision was taken by the legislature only, and the officers, they put the decision of the legislature into action. When we are to study executives, we basically divide them into two types of executives in our country. They are political executives and permanent executives. Political executives are those executives who are directly elected by the people, and the election has given them the power to take decisions on behalf of the people for a specific period of time. On the other hand, we have the permanent executives, who are basically the civil servants who have been appointed to their post after a process of tests and interviews. They are supposed to carry a particular educational qualification to be appointed on their post. The basic difference between the political executive and permanent executive is that the political executives hold more power in their hands compared to the permanent executives. Now, a very straight question that comes in our mind here is that to be a permanent executive, to be a civil servant, you have to have some certain minimum qualification. You go through an examination, you go through an interview, and after all this, you are appointed to that post. Whereas if you have to become a political executive or a politician in simple language, you do not need to carry any experience, you do not need to carry any basic education. You have to be the person with public support only. Now, if we think about it logically, we'll find here that the political executive may or may not be that qualified for taking decision for the people, whereas the permanent executives have acquired certain set of education, have acquired the skills for taking good decisions for the people. But still we have given more power in the hand of political executives. The answer to this question is that although the permanent executives are more educated, are more qualified for taking decisions, they do not hold the public's favor, public support. Whereas the political executives have been appointed to their post because the people think that the decisions that these ministers or these politicians will take are going to be for our benefit. So the power of taking decision in our democracy is given to the political representative of the people. He takes the decision after consultation and after the whole discussion with the permanent executives only, but the final decision is of the political executive and it cannot be influenced or changed if they do not want to. So in the executives, we have divided them into political and permanent executives. Now to study the important positions who function as the executive in our country, we are going to cover it in our next lecture, and we will study about the most important positions in the executives. We will study about the Prime Minister, the Cabinet, the formation of the Cabinet, and then finally we are going to discuss about the President and its function.